One of the most important things, milestones in our lives, is marriage. Everybody has different memories and every culture has different styles. In my country, we have more than one step to get married, and Henna Night is one of these steps. But before telling you about the Henna Night, let me tell you the first and the second step briefly. First step is to give promise to each other. You can call it like a little engagement. In this step, bride's and groom's family come together and the groom's father asks bride's father that if he gives the permission to the groom to marry his daughter. If bride's father and mother accepts, and if the bride, of course, wants to marry, get him, they organize and make plans for the future. While they are making plans and talking for the future, bride cooks Turkish coffee and serves it. She puts salt her fiancé's coffee instead of sugar. This is a test for the groom. If he drinks the salty coffee, she understands that he is going to love her in all circumstances. The second step is engagement, as you know. Differently from you, we prepare gifts for each other. Bride's family buy clothes to groom, and groom's family buy many needs of the bride. Both family and close relatives gather in bride's house and have a dinner. Then usually the oldest member of the family makes a speech about the happiness of a family and wishes the best for both sides, for groom and bride, and puts the rings on bride's and the groom's right hands. Finally, this member of the family cuts the ribbon that connects two rings to each other. And here is the third step, which is called Henna Night. It is called Henna Night because we use henna specifically for this ceremony, which is produced from a flowering plant. In my country, daughters usually can't leave their family house until they get married. And it is not a necessity in my culture to live abroad from your family before you get married. So it is very hard to leave your mother and father after getting married. This Henna Night ceremony mentions the hardness of leaving your family after growing up with them. Henna Night is a female ritual that takes place at the bride's parents' house, 1 or 2 nights before the wedding ceremony. You can imagine it as a bachelorette party, but it is a more complicated ritual. To organize this event, the bride's mother drops by every guest's house and personally invites the neighbors, the extended female members of both the bride's and the groom's family, and the friends of the bride. The ritual begins with the prayers of an elderly woman. Then the bride, usually dressed in red and veiled in a red headscarf, enters to the room where people are gathered. The meaning of this red headscarf and the veil is virginity. She cannot open it until a specific time of the ceremony. Unmarried friends of the bride follow her into the room, holding lit candles. As the elder woman continues praying, the bride sits on a chair and her friends start walking in circles around the bride. After finishing her prayers, this woman begins singing emotional songs about mothers losing their daughters, daughters becoming wives, and then mothers. These songs generate a collective dramatic moment when many participants cry as they experience the personal and social significance of the ritual. The bride cries also. She has to cry. It will be last days in her house with her family, and she is going to have another life. After this peak moment, one of the girls brings the henna cup, which is placed in the middle of a tray and rounded with the candles. They hold the tray like this, and move the tray above the bride's head in circle movement like this. And then give it to the mother-in-law. Mother-in-law takes some henna from the cup and tries to put it in the palms of the bride. But the bride refuses to open her hand. It is a tradition of the ceremony, means that I am not an easy bride. You should give me something if you want to put that henna in my palm. Then the mother-in-law puts a gold coin in the bride's palm. Only after receiving the gold coin does the bride accept the henna. Following the coloring of the bride's palm, the henna cup is passed from one guest to another, each putting some henna in their own palms. When the henna putting ceremony is over, the bride opens her veil and all guests attend to folk dance, music performed and sung by all or some of the guests. Dancing, singing, and talking, eating continue through the night. Usually non-alcoholic beverages, fruits, dried fruits, nuts, and in some cases a meal are served. It will be an unforgettable night and ritual for a bride until the last day of her life. I remember mine, and I remember that I lost my gold coin at that evening.